Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 21 team reveal video from me, Holly Shand, for Fantasy Football Community. What an eventful week we've had. Plenty of problems and dilemmas with the game week ahead as well. So this video should be a really exciting one. I'm very, very close to hitting 8,000 subscribers. So if you are new or you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to hit that target of 8,000 subscribers. And there's probably going to be a little giveaway as well coming up later in this video. So look out for that as well. So I'm recording this video on Thursday lunchtime, so we're most of the way through Game Week 20 now. Just that Spurs v Liverpool game coming up tonight, and then the deadline for Game Week 21 is on Saturday, the 30th of January at 11 o'clock. So that's in less than 48 hours time. So I wanted to get this video out there because a lot of you will be looking to make those transfer and captaincy decisions very soon. Now, my Game Week 20 has been very, very good so far. I'm currently on 76 points, which is just phenomenal. And, you know, I had quite a bit of luck. Cancelo and Gundogan were the big players for me in the City game that I kind of expected to do well. Cancelo was fortunate with VAR that he got a goal and an assist and a clean sheet. Gundogan was my transfer in. He obviously got his brace in just 51 minutes. I started Souček. A lot of managers benched him. I think a few of you asked me, should I play Souček? Should I bench him? But I was just pretty aware for that West Ham game in particular that Crystal Palace have been very poor defending aerially recently, and that obviously massively paid off for Souček. And Rafinha also managed a double-digit return. So that's given me a huge green arrow. And in terms of, you know, having a load of benching dilemmas going into this one, I think I got it pretty much spot on because it was Rafinha and Souček who were potentially going to be players that ended up on the bench. So I think after Tuesday's games, I'd gone up to about 23,000 from 95,000. I've since slipped back to 31,000. I am a little bit worried about tonight's game, Spurs-Liverpool. Kane and Son's effective ownership is quite significant at the moment. I've obviously not got them, so I'm going to be supporting Liverpool in this game. I've got Mo Salah, I've got Robertson. I could do with a Liverpool win and clean sheet to make that arrow even greener. But in terms of my progress, since that wildcard in Game Week 16, I've gone 360k to 30k. So, you know, that's a massive increase and a big jump this week as well. This is probably going to be my second best game week of the season. Really significant one. And, you know, I'm really starting to look at that top 10k now. That's going to be the target over the next few weeks to try and get in there. Now, before I move on to those transfer and captain plans for Game Week 21, just want to talk to you briefly about Footstock. Now, I've been working with Footstock for over a year now, and I think from around £6,000 in contest entries, I've got £12,500 in contest winnings. I'm absolutely loving Footstock at the moment. Now, if you're UK based, Footstock is a football trading platform where you can buy players from the market, enter them into fantasy football contests and win big cash prizes. So, for example, for me, in this Game Week 20, I played the bronze entry on Tuesday. I finished in the top 3 in that one, so I won £28.30 from a team of player cards that roughly cost me less than £10. I also, with that, won an entry to the January Monster, which is the signature contest for Footstock in January. It's essentially the Game Week 21 fixtures in a fantasy football competition. £20 entry fee on that one with a minimum £15,000 prize pool. Now, because I'm very close to hitting those 8,000 subscribers, as a little thank you for all your support, I'm going to be giving away a free entry to this January Monster. Now, to qualify, all you need to do is comment in this video with your Footstock username, and I will leave a link in the description to this video so you can get signed up to Footstock as well. Now, if you sign up with my link for Footstock, obviously it's UK only, 18 plus, and please gamble responsibly. But if you sign up with my link, you'll get a 50% deposit bonus paid up to a maximum of £100. And you'll also get 10 bonus cards, which you can use within your first 2 weeks. So that's a really, really great deal. And also within that as well, you also get access to some new user contests. So you're competing against other users that haven't been on the platform very long at all. So I'm confident that as long as you deposit £20, you'll get all of those perks. And I'm confident that you'll be able to win some cash just by putting your FPL knowledge to the test on Footstock. So please check out that link in the description. Comment in this video with your Footstock username, and one of you will get a free ticket to that January Monster worth £20. Fantastic prize pool on offer there as well. So, transfer plans then for Game Week 21. So I've only got the one transfer available here, a lot of money in the bank, and I've got a pretty firm idea of what I want to do. I want to bring in a Spurs attacker because Spurs have got Brighton away this week, which is a great fixture. It's very scary going out without those Spurs assets. So it seems a good excuse to spend some of that money that I've got stocked up in the bank, and potentially gives me an alternative captaincy option for Game Week 21 as well. Now, if I look at my squad at the moment, I'm pretty happy with the defence. Goalkeepers could probably do with a bit of work, but it's not urgent. It's a midfield and forward line. Now, I'll admit before Game Week 20, I was looking at potentially losing Rafinha to bring in Son as my transfer this week. The other thing is, without having seen that Spurs-Liverpool game yet in Game Week 20, I'm not absolutely convinced on, whether I want to hold Salah long term. He was a player that I was, considering quite heavily getting rid of for Game Week 20. I was a little bit more assured that Liverpool would regain their form, having seen them score a few goals in the FA Cup last weekend, because before that they'd gone on quite a long, streak of not scoring. So I think Salah I'll stay patient with. Do I want to transfer out Rafinha now, following his haul last game week? It does make it tricky. I mean, he's not the sort of player that's going to return me big points every single week, so that's something to consider. But if you look at his starts this season, he's played about 13 games and he's got 3 goals, 3 assists at 5.4 million. That's not too bad at all. Leeds United are a very attacking team, but we have seen their output decrease somewhat. But it's a tough sell. Leicester up next, which is a tough fixture on paper, but Leicester have got a few defensive injuries now. Obviously, Ndidi went off midweek. Evans went off as well. So they're 2 big players when it comes to defensiveness. So I do think that Rafinha and Leeds could score, even though I'm expecting Leicester City to win. So I think I'm perhaps changing my mind now and maybe leaving Rafinha in my team and looking to offload either Bamford or Shea Adams in the place of Harry Kane instead. And I can afford either of those moves. Now, I do think that the issue for me with Bamford, he was substituted on the 59th minute against Newcastle United, which was not good at all. Again, we've got those fixtures to consider, but I can see some promise in the fixtures. But do I want to be doubled up on Leeds United at the moment when their attack isn't as firing as I have been at other points in the season? Is Bielsa's burnout starting to come into play here? That's one question. The other thing though with Bamford, he's in nearly 50% of teams, so there is a risk there. The other choice is to get rid of Shea Adams. Now, Shea Adams was on my bench this week. He's not delivered an attacking return since game week 13. You look at the fixtures, Aston Villa, Manchester United in the next 2. Can I see much hope for him? I'd rather be on Danny Ings at the moment. However, Southampton do have 2 fixtures that have still got to be rearranged, and there's rumours circulating on Twitter from Ben Crellin that potentially Manchester City will have a double game week in game week 24, and joining them will either be Everton or Southampton. Now, the Southampton double game week, if it happened in game week 24, would be Wolves and Man City, so not the best one on paper. So this could be a situation where the double game week potential bias is clouding my judgment. I do think that Che Adams is probably the one that needs to go for Harry Kane rather than Bamford. The other thing that I've got to consider in that, though, is that I'm also looking at my midfield at the moment, and there's quite a few players that I'm interested in bringing in. Jack Grealish, the Leicester midfielders, Barnes, Maddison and Tielemans all look fantastic at the moment. I could potentially get Son in at some point as well, but if I was to sell Rafinha, I've not got the funds to get onto a Leicester midfielder like Tielemans or Barnes, but that's because my squad's quite, a bit skewed at the moment, because I've got the funds spread quite, fairly around at the moment, because, I downgraded De Bruyne to Gundogan, and because I've just played the bench boost as well. So I may need to make some downgrades somewhere in the future in order to beef up that midfield. So I think I'm just going to use the one free transfer that I've got this week, and I'm going to replace Che Adams with Harry Kane. Now, the headaches do not end there, because I've also got to think about how I line up. So obviously we've got to pretend that Che Adams is Harry Kane, who's obviously going to start. Who do I bench? That's the next question. Now, I'm not going to be benching the likes of Gundogan, Fernandes, Salah. So I either bench Bamford or Rafinha against Leicester City, or I bench Antonio or Souček against Liverpool. I think it will be Souček that drops the first sub. So we're imagining now in this lineup that Che Adams is in fact Harry Kane away to Brighton. The next headache is the defence. Obviously, I'm going to play Cancelo and Diaz at home to Sheffield United. Do I play Robertson against an informed West Ham side? Do I play Justin against my double Leeds attack? I think Leeds will score. I don't think Leicester will keep a clean sheet, but is Che Adams more likely to get an attacking return against Leeds United than Robertson is to West Ham? That's the thing that I've got to weigh up. And it is a tricky one. I think probably at the moment Justin just edges it. However, I also made this decision last week and then changed it round and played Robertson instead. We don't know whether that decision's paid off yet, because that game obviously has not happened yet. Lowton's definitely third sub. The other headache, do I play Johnston at home to Fulham or McCarthy at home to Aston Villa? And I think for this one, I'm going to have to play Johnston over McCarthy. Now, Southampton are the better defence, and if you have a look, at the numbers, they've kept 2 clean sheets in their last 5. West Brom, Johnston hasn't kept a clean sheet since game week 10. So that's one thing to consider, but then you've got to consider their opponents as well. So if we look at Aston Villa in terms of their returns, they've scored 4 goals in their last 2. We also look at Fulham, what they've been doing. They've scored 1 goal in their last 2. In fact, in terms of quite a few of their fixtures have ended up 0-0. So it's a tricky one to weigh up. McCarthy has been very, very good for me this season. I think that Aston Villa Southampton game ended 4-3 earlier in the season though. So, with Southampton having a few injuries and not having the form at the moment, I think I'll go with Johnston, because I feel like he's probably going to give me the bigger return. If we look at that reverse fixture then, McCarthy got 3 points in the reverse fixture. Johnston got 1. So it is a tight call. Obviously, as always, I will be updating you with my final team on Twitter close to the deadline on Saturday. So that's at FF Community _ if you want to check that out. Now, obviously, if you've got any dilemmas about your own team, please do get in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Don't forget to hit that link in the description to get yourself signed up to Footstock for a chance of winning a free £20 ticket to the January Monster, which kicks off on Saturday. And if you hit that link, you'll also get your 50% deposit bonus and the bonus cards available as well, and all of those new user contests. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. 8,000 subscribers. It would be great to hit that target this week. So thank you everyone for all of your support so far. Please keep it coming as well. And good luck for FPL Game Week 21.